It's entertaining. It's got good effects. It's got funny performances.
Yeah.
It fills most of the checkpoints. I guess the real problem with the film is, what audience was this intended for?
Yeah.
And I think that's really where the problem is. Its tone.
Right.
Because it takes itself super serious to the point where it's like, why isn't this a straight out horror?
Right.
But other times it's so silly. It's like, are we watching the same movie?
Right, because it's like it's in a weird way. Were they marketing this for kids? Because it feels
Well,
kind of like
there's
a
an interesting story
family
about
horror
that.
movie. Yeah.
Well, there is an interesting story about it. You see,
Yeah.
Peter Jackson wanted this film to be PG-13.
Right.
But the MPAA said, no, this cannot be PG-13. We're giving it an R rating. No
Yeah.
matter how hard Jackson tried to tame the movie,
Right.
the MPA said, no, this is still too violent. So eventually,
Right.
he's like, okay, I give up. I'm going to at least add one gory scene so at least it can show why it has an R rating.
Right.
I won't give away what that scene is, but it's pretty explicit. But
Right.
I feel like that's a big part of it because it's actually kind of refreshing to see a filmmaker who's done, like, horror films now want to branch out to a wider audience
Yeah.
and try to say, okay, I can still make some tame stuff that can be funny, scary, and entertaining at the same time.
Right.
And it's just a shame what they did to his movie
I know.
because it really doesn't deserve an R rating at
Right.
all.
And Ernest, we were talking before the show. So they presented a PG-13 cut of the film, but they still rejected it. What was the?
Oh no, it was like Tyler was saying.
Yeah.
So the MPAA told him where the cuts should be made, and then Peter Jackson went back and did the cuts as accurately as he could without butchering the movie. Michael J. Fox also wanted the movie to be PG-13. He also wanted it to because he felt he understood his own appeal, and he knew that in cinemas, for some reason, R-rating movies for him didn't bring in as much money as other movies. The same thing happened with The Hard Way, unfortunately. It was rated R, and he was also disappointed by the returns for that movie, even though it was a good movie. So that was another reason that they were fighting for the PG-13. But Tyler's right. At the end, he presented another cut, and they still deemed it R. So there's just no winning there.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Definitely a shame.
Can't argue with the studios sometimes,
Well, they have the power. They have
They
the money.
do,
They
they
fund everything. So you have no choice sometimes.
At this time, Jackson wasn't really a household name at this
Right.
point.
No.
Right.
So they didn't really give him as much creative freedom, I guess. But still, I think it's a fine film.
It's a very entertaining
I'm happy
one.
with the result.
I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie still, just like The Hard Way. It's funny. Well, not just like The Hard Way. I give the movie a 7.5. It has its misgivings. Again, I agree.
Oh, I give it an 8.
Oh, okay, another 8. Okay.
It's a solid
I
8.
respect it.
Yeah,
I like the setting. I like the cast. I like the ideas. I like the villain.
Oh, yeah. Jake Busey was amazing in that
Right?
film.
Yes.
Just like his dad, man. That crazy grin, they knew what they were
Yeah.
doing when they cast him. They knew, obviously. You know what I mean? I enjoyed the prospect. There's a director's cut I did not know about. I did not see the director's cut.
Not yet.
I did.
Okay,
You
so
did?
you saw the director's cut. Do you
Ooh.
know any differences you could point out
Well,
to
I
us?
never saw the original cut, so I can't really say.
Oh, so your first time was a director's cut.
Yes, it was.
Interesting.
'Cause that was all I could rent at the moment.
Got
But
you.
Honestly, the film flowed just as fine.
All right, I have to see it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So-
how long was the director's cut?
I would say about 11 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot can happen in 11 minutes.
Right.
Um,
Again, I don't know what was cut out, but it still felt like, it never felt like it was dragging, at least in my experience. So I'll give it that.